Hello, this video will be a deeper dive into Module 1. It will be more of a traditional kind of lecture and what you might get if you were in the classroom, except you won't have the interactivity between other students. So, in the classroom, if I were instructing, we would start off with the activities page. I would tell you to watch the overview. That's a quick overview of the entire week. Always pay attention to the objectives and what is coming up for the week. This is a link to your zyBook, and there are some videos on the next page in your zyBook that you should watch that describe how to use the participation activities and how to use the challenge activities. So that first link is just to the whole entire chapter of the book. This link is to your assignments, and that's what's going to link the assignments that you do in your zyBooks back to your the course. And so the zyBook trainings assignment link is the link that you will use to then make sure that points in zyBooks transfer back. So whatever the number of points are in your zyBooks, a percentage of that will be calculated and passed back to the course. So as you go through the Canvas course, we are expecting you to use this next button to navigate. This particular video is a broad overview of computer components and operations from one of our instructors, and it highlights the input, processing, and output model that we use all semester. It's a good idea to watch this video and maybe take some notes, and it would also be a good thing to post some questions in the chat if you have questions over it. The other thing that we will emphasize this semester is a problem-solving process, and that is whenever you solve a problem, you should try to define it. You will want to prepare potential solutions, and that's going to include creating test data that we'll talk about here in just a moment. You will try a solution, which is where you will do your coding, and then you will test and debug and reflect. So watch this video, and then this outlines the process that's in the video. You will hear us talk a lot about the IPO process, and that is also in your zyBook. So you should be doing your zyBook readings in addition to going through this Canvas material. So when we use the IPO model, you will be expected later on in the course to create what we will call pseudocode, and you will need to be able to also read flowcharts when you are using an IPO model. We'll talk about that more here in just a moment. So IPO stands for input, processing, and output. And all computer interactions involve those processes. Your input can be from a mouse, your input can be from voice, your input can be from the keyboard, but you have input. And then the computer responds to that. It does processing, whatever that processing might be. And then there's output. The output could be, most of the time it's on the screen, but it could be visual, it could be, static, just words, and the output could be sound if you were like a musician, okay? Whenever we prepare, the part of the cycle where you are preparing your work, we're going to be creating pseudocode. You will want to design your output screen. The more of what your output's going to look like that can be designed ahead of time, the fewer mistakes that you will make, and you will also save in production time. And then we're going to create test data. Test data is creating up examples of what your output might be if you're given a certain input. So if I want to calculate the area of a rectangle, and one side is 3 and the other side is 4, my inputs are 3 and 4. 3 times 4 is 12. My output would be 12 for the area of the rectangle. Calculating those test data pieces ahead of time is critical. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. When you go ahead and try as part of our model, you will be creating a solution using a code or a flowchart. The IPO model is defined in the video. This particular example talks about using Fahrenheit, doing some calculations, and then displaying it. This particular example isn't in any specific language. It's in what we call pseudocode. So it's kind of like half language and half computer code. That means it won't run if we try to put it into a compiler or a simulator, but it does give us a very strong feeling for what the logic's going to be. So for example here, we know that we're going to need a couple of variables. We know that we are going to input Fahrenheit, and we're going to output. So this is actually a little like title right here. That first output is a title. We're going to input Fahrenheit. We will use that calculation, use that variable in a calculation, and then we will output our final results that will say so many degrees Fahrenheit is so many degrees Celsius. And so that's an example of using pseudocode. The same particular solution is also shown here in a flowchart scenario. And so as you work through your zyBook, you'll learn about flowcharts. The ovals are beginning and ending blocks. A rectangular is an action, and this is a special rectangle because it's declaring variables. Parallelograms are inputs and outputs. So whenever you have a parallelogram, that's input and output. A rectangle is a action or calculation. Here you can see the calculation, and then we have another parallelogram for output. Your zyBook will cover some of those shapes in some of its reading, but that kind of gives you a broad overview of what the flowchart symbols might be. A flowchart is also basically planning our logic for a program. So this is an example of a flowchart. Another thing that you heard me talk about was creating test data. When you create test data, as I said, you're creating those examples of what your output's going to be. And you're not only can it involve creating examples of what the output's going to be, the actual calculations, it can also be planning and designing what your output screen is going to look like. So when you design your output screen, you also want to be you're going to be kind of doing two things. When you create test data, always be thinking about how you want your output to look. So for example, in a little bit, our Coral programming language that we have is going to have you output things to 2 decimal places, and it's going to show you how to do that. That's a special outputting format. So in this particular example with the Fahrenheit and Celsius, the input was, I forget what we inputted. If we inputted the 100 and got the 37.78, we must have inputted the 100, and then the output is 37.78. So this is the output without labels. This is the output with labels. So it's always easier to understand what the problem is or the data is meaning when it has labels. And so you will hear us maybe talk about the fact that we don't want to have any naked numbers in our programs. And that's because if you have a naked number that's like right here, 37.78, we don't know what that represents. And so this gives it some context over here on the left. When creating test data, you should always have multiple sample inputs. You should have test data that tests all branches of the logic. You should create test data prior to coding, and we will be practicing that skill throughout the course. And you also want to create an input-output table for your test data. So this is an example of several inputs and several outputs. And notice the inputs include positive, negative, and 0 numbers. And so there's a variety of inputs that you are using. This next video discusses white box testing, which is an industry so white box testing is something that you might hear about in industry, and so I would encourage you to watch that video. And again, take notes, and if there's any questions that you have on those videos, please put them in the chat with your peers area. The next topic in our modules is going to be our Coral simulator. There are several support videos already in these sections in your Canvas pages. So please watch these videos that are in this section, but also please be going back and forth to zyBook. So for example, it says here, if you have not done so, complete all the zyBook sections prior to the code and pseudocode section, and then continue here. So if you have not gone to your zyBook and you have not completed basically chapter 1 up through the code and pseudocode, now is the time for you to make sure that you complete through all those exercises. Basically in this version of the textbook, it's sections 1 through 10. So if you haven't done that, go to your zyBook and do that. And then come back to Canvas here, and this is going to provide you some additional hints for working with the Coral workspace. Depending on how your instructor has things set up, when you go to practice in your Coral workspace, you might use the Coral workspace here. You could maybe use this Coral practice workspace. Either one of them should be fine for you to work in. You don't want to use this real estate summary because that one is specific to a lab that you guys are going to do, okay? Back in our Canvas page, another thing that I will highlight here is that don't skip these videos because they are actually leading you up in order to successfully complete the assignment that you are going to have for this week. Our next page in Canvas talks about submitting the program for grading. So there's going to be two ways that you submit programs when you do Coral programs. One way will be within the zyBook, and you won't have to do anything special except click Submit for Grading, and it will be auto-graded. In this particular module, that's going to be the program that is called the Real Estate Summary Program. So in Module 1, your Real Estate Summary Program, notice it says auto-graded there, will open up in your zyBook. You will complete the exercise in your zyBook following these directions. And again, if you get stuck, if you have questions, especially if you were in an online section, please use that chat with your peers and please reach out to your instructor as needed. But before you do that, make sure that you have done the learning. Don't jump to this particular assignment without having completed the material before it. So please be a responsible student. Please make sure that you are completing the sections in Chapter 1 prior to that Real Estate Summary Program, which is in Section 15. So that means you should have worked your way through Sections 1.1 through Section 14, then get to the Real Estate Summary. And then if you have problems, then you can email us and have about the questions that you have, or post a clarification question on the chat with your peers area. Going back to Canvas then, this particular assignment or this particular screen is actually going to show you when you're working with Canvas, sometimes you're going to need to download your data and then upload your Coral program. And so the video here will show you how to do this, so don't skip this video. The assignment where you have to download your own zyBook code and then upload that is going to be the assignment where you have to do your course comment. And so this is a sample of a course comment. Remember that course or that comments in Coral are begun with 2 forward slashes. And so your instructor might have a specific course comment that they want you to use. This is an example of course comment. On the next page is the assignment for that. And so you are going to go to your zyBook. In your zyBook, we will go to Chapter 1. You can use, in Chapter 1, you can use the Coral Practice Canvas Submission. You will follow these directions. You will do your coding in this section here, and it actually has a sample here for you, or that might be left over from one of my codes, but it gives you a pretty good example of what you need to do. You will then need to download that, copy and paste it to a text editor, and the video here in Module 1, right prior to this assignment, shows you how to do that. So that's why we tell you to go through the course using, hitting the next button, and don't skip any of those sections. You can always go back to the module page, just FYI. You can always go back to this module page and kind of just mentally say, yeah, I did that, I did that, I did that. If you leave and then come back to it, then you can come back in and look at the module this way. So once you get through the assignments here, you will have your practice using Coral and submitting with a Canvas submission. You will have your Real Estate Summary Lab, which is auto-graded, and then you will have your discussion, which we already talked about in a previous video. And that will wrap up Module 1. Because you have extra support videos within these, you will not get any more additional videos from me this week or from your instructors this week. Well, they might. For example, if I notice that you guys are struggling with a certain thing, then I might do an extra support video, or I might put out an announcement. So it's going to be important that you watch your announcements for additional information from your instructors, and use the chat with your peers to post questions, and that way we can respond to everybody and have a common response. And then please feel free to reach out via email if you do have additional questions about the course.